The Bondi killer does it all. Absolute panic stations all over Australia as the Bondi killer ends up killing 6 people, unfortunately. Well, we talked about the aftermath earlier in the week. What's happened in the future, and what is happening around Australia wide. Yes, we had another stabbing at a church precinct, which thankfully didn't end up in a death, but I think people sometimes go too quick towards terrorism, saying this is a terrorism act. Well, there's two ways to look at it. It could be a racist act or just a gang-related one. One or the other. It's one of the two. It's not terrorist. Don't get it twisted. If it was terrorist, there would be something more extreme, absolute madness. So I think sometimes that term gets put out a bit too much, but haphazard around that. But what is the state of Australia at the moment? Every single day you're hearing about deaths, you're hearing about people getting shot, people getting run over, killed. What's the state of Australia? There's some work to be done. There's no doubt about it. I think there's a lot of work in the mental health industry that really needs to get sorted quickly, because as we've seen with the Bondi spree, it's just not working. Whatever is the health system, it's not working in the mental health space to help these people have better lives. I know some people say they choose their life. Well, yes, potentially, but have they gone through every single process to make people have the best arrangements to have the best opportunity to live with their mental illnesses? That's more the question mark I have around that. But getting back to Bondi, yes, the Bondi killer. Well, congratulations. Yes, the Bollard man, yes, will be permanent resident. Did they go a bit too short and should have went for citizenship? That poll is still going around for him to be a citizen, but good on him for doing what he did, risking his own life to save others. It was fantastic work. Obviously, he couldn't stop him completely to continue, but he certainly helped searches. But I don't want to disregard other people. They're saying, yes, he's done great, but there was a whole lot of other people that day that helped as well, and not getting the same recognition that this man is getting, I believe. And I have to say thank you for anyone out there that was there that day and that helped try to defeat the cause of justice of this man, like the people helping out with the poor mother with the baby. I mean, these are other people that are heroes as well. You got to remember everybody, not just the one person. You got to talk about everybody in this instance. That's why I'm saying there's a lot more heroes. And also the death of the security guard. I mean, he was obviously trying to stop him as well, and lost his life. So there's a lot of people out there, and then some of the victims, unfortunately, probably didn't even see what was coming. So very sad on that front. But yes, what sort of culture is happening in Australia, folks? It's absolutely not the greatest I've seen. I potentially have seen some of the culture around everywhere, and not just in society, at work, everywhere in between. It's not the greatest in some aspects. I think there needs to be work on this to really improve the whole mental health sector. It really needs something to go forward with, because at the moment it's just not good enough for the people out there trying to survive out there. But yes, so a bit of sad news around at the moment for people in Australia. Hopefully we can learn from this, and in time we will see differences to the opinions here. But going back to that day, it's just a sad bit of whether we find out eventually that he was high on drugs and stuff like that, and there was potential for that to be part of the reason for it. But as we stand, we don't know, but there could be a potential reason why he went that way. A whole lot of stuff in the head, whether or not it was a planned attack. I don't know. I know they talk about the looking for weapons and stuff, but had he been looking for weapons all his life? It's just part of his thing, or was it something more new in the situation? That's probably another thing you have to analyze and think, was it really, or was it just he had a very bad day his head wasn't straight. He decided that maybe he had enough and goes, let's go. And generally, not generally, but there's quite a few times this just happens. It's just absolutely they've lost control of their mind completely and just gone into red mode, absolutely gone into red and forgotten about any sanity or anything else. And we've ended up with this. Doesn't mean it always happens. It can be absolutely predetermined as well. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying there's a possibility that it wasn't predetermined. It was just his mental state was that bad at the time, and it unfortunately led to this. So yeah, that's just a few things. What can we do better? Well, what did I read in the news the other day? It was an old story, but the ambulance, a guy got picked up in the ambulance with a heart attack and was stuck at the hospital for 2-3 hours in the ambulance, did not get assisted and died right there and then. In a country like this, it is absolutely not up to standard at all. Absolutely not up to standard. They need to go back and rejig. We don't pay all this extra taxes for this to be failing. Absolutely the government really need to do something about this. It's absolutely not good enough what they're doing at the moment. They need to turn the system around. So the health sector really just needs an absolute revamp. Why are we spending all this taxpayer money on it and it's not getting us anywhere? The roadways, you know what I mean? The roadways are absolute not up to standard in terms of the traffic line. I mean, you look at the M5, why isn't there 4 lanes in this day and age? It needs to be 4 lanes. 3 lanes is clearly not enough. Getting stuck in Sydney, you're getting stuck on the traffic all day long. At peak hour, they need to change that. They should be adding more lanes to that road and a lot of other roads all around Australia. So that's just something they need to work on as well. But coming back to the Bondi curler, this stabbing spree at the Westfield shopping centre, I have to say condolences to all the victims out there and all the immediate family around them. Sad times comes sad messages, but I want to think that we're all thinking of you at this bad time, and I hope that we do get some learnings out of this disaster and that we can move forward as a better country, and there needs to be a lot more improvement around that going forward. But thank you for joining me here at Barry Charles News. This is your one-stop shop for everything current events, news related, all around the world. Let's get on the trains. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with another news story very soon.